Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
Hey there guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and welcome to my Star Wars The Bad Batch Season 2 Episode 3 review video. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna hop right on into it. It should go without saying that yes, there are spoilers ahead here for Star Wars The Bad Batch Episode 3, the newest and probably the best episode of The Bad Batch so far. It was incredible. So if you haven't already seen that episode, go check it out and come on back over here and check out this video. I have to say that this was an interesting episode, but nonetheless, what other people I have been seeing calling this the best Bad Batch episode thus far compared to Season 1 and Season 2. It was definitely filled with action, but it was missing one very important key detail. The Bad Batch didn't show up at all in this episode. And instead, this episode featured Crosshair, who had previously been a part of Clone Force 99 with the rest of the Bad Batch during Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and had later left and betrayed them, going to the Empire. And the episode also featured the return of the one and only Commander Cody here as well, who of course has appeared in Revenge of the Sith movie and also in the Clone Wars animated show there as well. I think it should go without saying that yes, a surprise for sure, but a most welcome one. Of course, Cody had been featured in a lot of the marketing and promoting here for the second season of The Bad Batch, in the trailer and in the TV promos and even in the posters actually as well. So to see him already so soon here in the third episode of The Bad Batch wasn't a long and painful wait whatsoever. Now from here, I want to carry on my review here, taking a read from dorksideoftheforce.com. I agree with a lot of the stuff that they say here in their article, also kind of giving an overall summary of the episode overall here as well. I'm gonna have that full article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. As I read, for this episode for The Bad Batch, the main members of Clone Force 99, The Bad Batch, are entirely missing, as I had mentioned. And despite of this slightly odd creative choice, this episode is an excellent piece of world building for the post-Order 66 world and universe, and answers so many questions about some of our favorite clones. We finally get to see what becomes of Commander Cody after the events of Order 66, and Crosshair clearly shows his true colors as well. And the mysterious new clone CT-1226 appears out of thin air. That being a new clone that was mentioned at the end of this episode, it could just be a random clone, or it could be somebody that could be posing a little bit of a threat. For those of you that have seen the trailers for the upcoming Season 2 of The Bad Batch here, Commander Cody's appearance wasn't much of a surprise, but we had seen him in his ominous gray armor. That's also new. And we had also already seen him execute Order 66 during the events of Star Wars: The Revenge of the Sith movie. Many of the non-canon stories that are a part of Legends had misused his fate, with the majority assuming that he stayed loyal to the Empire. Throughout this episode, it is clear that Cody believed in the purpose he was given, even attempting a peaceful resolution after losing some of his men. He talks about the Empire with the same relevance he talked about with the Republic in so many ways. This episode seems like it could have been a part of the Clone Wars animated show as an episode as well. It felt nostalgic and it felt like it was a part of the Clone Wars, with so many different storytelling and plot ideals, I think, throughout this episode here as well, that really reminded me of what we did see in the Clone Wars quite often, with separatists trying to take over worlds. Now in this case we're seeing the, well, Empire. This creative choice gives us a contrasting feeling. We have had 7 seasons of supporting clones, especially those like Commander Cody and Crosshair, but in this instance we know that they are quote-unquote the bad guys in this kind of scenario here. Despite this fact, it seems hard to be supportive of the battle droids. After all, haven't they been the enemy this whole time? And weren't they wrong about the Republic? The governor asks Cody these questions, and we can see him give the propaganda line back, except to him it's true. But once again we see it's the Imperial officers like Vice Admiral Rampart who are really the treacherous ones, the ones that are ruling out these orders. The clones themselves are still honorable soldiers, we knew, but now their commanders are all snakes, in the sense that they're all for the Empire and that they don't believe in what the Republic once was. But the Solitary Clone, the title of this episode, is not just a refundum of the Imperial officers, but Crosshair as well, is what that title really means. Crosshair, as we had later learned in Season 1 of The Bad Batch, no longer has his inhibitor chip, as all of the other clones do, Blue, and is more capable of making his own decisions than virtually any other clone. Yet he still chooses to follow the orders, even knowing that they are wrong. A lot of people have said that this reminds them of the Umbara arc from the Clone Wars, with seeing that everything that the Empire is doing with the clones and to the clones, with kind of portraying them and putting them into these types of situations as we saw Pong Krell once do. And as Fives had also even said in those episodes from the Clone Wars with the Umbara arc, saying that, wait, this is all wrong, and we all know it. The General is making a mistake, and he needs to be called out on it. No clone should have to go out this way. We're loyal soldiers. We follow orders, but we're not a bunch of unthinking droids. We are men. We must be trusted to make the right decisions, especially when the orders to us are given wrong. And also, as we had seen towards the end of Season 1 of The Bad Batch, seeing that the inhibitor chips are kind of wearing off on the clones at this point. They're more free-thinking at this point, and none of them really do agree with what the Empire is all about. It seems that Crosshair has chosen to follow Dogma's path and blindly trust in his evil superiors, the Empire. Now that even Commander Cody has stepped away from the Empire, as we had saw at the end of this episode, I wonder where he's gonna go. Maybe he'll join up with the Bad Batch and go find Rex, as Crosshair had even mentioned Rex and the rest of Clone Force 99, saying that the rest of them went rogue. Maybe Crosshair will at one point here as well, but as we all know that story goes, that was something that was so drawn out in the first season, with is Crosshair going to go back to his brothers with the rest of Clone Force 99 or stick around with the Empire here. And while yes, I would like to dive deeper on into this in a separate future video here on the channel, I really think that Crosshair is going to be built up all the way into a suspenseful moment, maybe with the Season 2 finale, as Rampart maybe has the rest of Clone Force 99 at his fingertips, and he makes the choice to go ahead and kill Rampart. However, to be fair, that is something that a lot of people thought that we were going to see in the first season of The Bad Batch, and well, yeah, we sort of did. We saw Clone Force 99 really team up here with Crosshair in that finale, but from there, he still chose to step away from them, as he had said that he felt betrayed not from the Republic, but from the rest of his brothers for not wanting to help him. Now, overall, this overall episode here deserves a nearly perfect score in every category, from its thought-provoking themes, callbacks, and fast-paced action. This episode is exactly what the series needs to become more of, with its very best pieces of Star Wars that is not only fun to watch, but hopefully makes us better as viewers and Star Wars fans to be watching it. I believe that a really big struggle that this overall show deals with here is having stakes that are high. I never really once ever thought that a character was going to die. In this entire episode, I was like thinking that this was going to be the end of Commander Cody, and I was thinking that he was going to die in this episode. Thankfully, that is not the case, and I can't wait, as I had mentioned, to see where his character is going to go from here. Is he going to go find Rex and the rest of them and team up with Clone Force 99? I think is something that would be beyond exciting to see. However, going forward, I think that raising the stakes, I think, would be a little bit more interesting and really keep people at the edge of their seats. It was awesome to watch this overall, as I had mentioned, and it really just kept me on my toes. I was really thinking that this was going to be the end of Commander Cody. And aside from that, also with Dave Filoni being in charge of this overall show here, directing it, writing it, and producing it, everything like that there, it's very interesting to see with Dave Filoni projects with Star Wars, having a couple of episodes that just kind of like take a step away from the main cast. I think this is something that we did see with the first season of The Bad Batch, with Captain Hauser and having Hera, a young Hera there as well. I think there's one episode a part of that overall arc, quote unquote, of where we just didn't see The Bad Batch, so it's interesting to kind of see that theme overall continue here, not only with animated shows and with The Bad Batch, but also in the Book of Boba Fett. Maybe we might see that for The Mandalorian Season 3 or for the Ahsoka show as well. However, time will only tell. Let me know what you all think about this in the comment section down below. Your ideals on having episodes that don't really focus on the main characters of that show. What are your thoughts on that? Is it good? Is it bad? And your overall thoughts and opinions on episode 3, season 2 of The Bad Batch. I would love to hear what you guys all think in the comment section down below. And of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one, guys. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.